we're on there now.
Now we're live. Great. Everybody else is on a different podcast. Hold on. I'm going to send out a quick little Instagram thing to let everybody know that we are on a different one. Sorry, guys. Yeah, let me just do this really fast. Hopefully they realize that we're not there.
Welcome to the chat. Learn more.
Yeah.
We're here, guys. So
yeah, we're on a different one. Sorry. Yeah.
Don't you just love technology? Dang, it rules our life. Good morning from North Carolina. Hi there. I think some found us anyway.
Yeah, some found us.
Yeah. It says we are coming. Yes, we are coming. See, so maybe some of you guys will find us and figure out where we're at because we
had some technical difficulties.
I'm
sorry. It just kept saying, like loading the browser.
But it didn't have our picture.
It didn't have anything.
Yeah. So it
essentially we had to reboot.
Yeah. So we rebooted it, and now look for us, and you'll find us. Oh, excuse me. My green eggs and ham are speaking to me.
Yeah. Oh, green eggs and spam.
Green eggs and spam, not
green eggs and spam.
Ham. That's what we had. Green eggs and spam. I love green eggs.
Wow.
And spam.
Okay, that was dramatic. Dramatic.
My heart was stimulated here.
Totally dramatic.
Who needs a defibrillator when you got this to do?
I know.
It's
I
like
know.
What's going on? Okay, guys.
Leaving on you on YouTube announcement, and then I received a notification you were on. Yeah, I'm sorry. And here I thought I had all my freaking poop in a group this morning. I had a YouTube or an Instagram post up early. And I was trying to get a nice little thumbnail onto YouTube, but that didn't work.
Yeah. That maybe should have been our first clue.
Yeah. I knew something was going to be just out of whack.
Right.
Because
but now that this has gone all wonky and fiddle doodled, the rest of the day, super breeze. No problem
whatsoever.
Just bleeze it. We're going to bleeze it. There you go.
Just bleeze.
See, maybe that's why I wear this shirt, because I have to bleeze it. We have to bleeze it.
You just got to bleeze.
Yeah, we have to.
We have to go down a little.
Got down a little so that.
Yeah, otherwise they don't get to see what we're actually doing.
Oh, I never really thought about that.
You don't need to see all my ceiling.
Well, it is a nice ceiling.
It's not a bad ceiling.
No.
But it's
it is textured though.
It is textured. Not popcorn texture.
No, but it is
because
this is kind of like what I have in my family room. But
they don't want to see your neck.
Oh, I'm sorry. Don't you think it's pretty cool though? Anyway. So today is Sunday, June 12th, number 97. How do you like that? I thought it was 96, but I had the wrong shirt on, so it had to be 97.
It's 97. It's 97. And of course, I put up the new one, and I don't have anything in there. So the bad one has the title.
Okay.
This one does not. Just says episode 97 because I did it really fast. Sorry, guys. And I don't have a keyboard and a mouse out here. That's back in the studio. Oh my gosh. See, I'm just all discombobulated.
That's why you tried to get
I tried to get my poop in a group early.
And see, don't do that. That just doesn't work for us. We just fly by the seat of our pants.
Exactly. I should stop trying to be organized.
I do have pants on, see, so I can fly today.
I should really stop trying to be organized because it fucks it up every time.
Every time. Because it's just not your nature.
Well, no, I mean, usually I am pretty organized. But when it comes to this podcast, I'm not organized at all.
What's that supposed to be? It's supposed to be fly by your seat of your pants.
Yeah, it's just supposed to be a flock of people around a table.
Having a good
time.
And, and I said it was January 12th, number 97, one day after Knit in Public Day.
Yes.
And we did Knit in Public yesterday.
We did.
I had a great time, even though it was only the 5
There
of us.
There was only a few of us, but I think it was a very last minute thing.
Right.
Brenda and Heather decided to do a Knit in Public on a bridge up in Lafayette, Indiana, which is only like 45 minutes up the road for us. I'm moving you back just a little bit because like my head was cut off.
Okay, we don't want your head cut off.
Weird. Yeah, so Deb and I drove up because Deb sent me an email at work and she's like, "Hey, look at this. Do you want to do this?" And I'm like, "Yeah, let's do it. No problem." So we went up. It was great.
It was just Heather, Brenda and Heather, and another lady. I can't remember your name, but if you're on the podcast, you were very nice. So it was nice to meet you.
Sweet.
She was really nice. She was from West Lafayette, I think. And it was just the 5 of us sitting there kind of knitting and people walking by looking like, what the hell are they doing?
Maggie, I'm glad you found us over here on this one. and Jennifer, so we got South Africa and Australia in the house.
Back
Welcome.
again. Thank you.
Welcome back, Flockers.
So we get there and it's like 10:30, figured to park, walked up there. And then I kept thinking maybe people were going to wait or kind of show up lunchtime-ish or something. Well, nobody else came. But it was just so much fun.
It was fun.
Getting to know Brenda and Heather and laughing and,
Brenda
getting their story from.
If you guys don't know, Brenda and Heather of BAH Yarns, BAH Yarns.
You need to look it up and you need to
look
get
them
there.
up. You just have to look them up.
They're the stripe goddesses of the world.
Yeah, for sure.
They are.
Or at least they're the stripe goddesses that are closest to us.
And they're the super nicest people too.
Oh, so sweet.
They really are.
So sweet.
And I did learn stuff because I didn't realize that Brenda had 4 kids.
Right?
And she does all this yarn stuff and everything. And I'm like, oh my God.
Chitlins.
4 children. And she's, she's doing all this cool yarn stuff. So go on their website and they got Star Wars because they like Star Wars too. So that's another reason why I love them to death too, because they like Star Wars. So
they do. And they corrected us.
My nose got red. See?
You have a pimple.
I do not.
Yes, you do.
I do?
Yes.
Oh, where?
Right on the tip of your nose. I'm going to call you Rudolph.
Well, my nose did get red yesterday, so because we were in the sun, it was a beautiful day.
But it wasn't hot.
No.
It wasn't
but
hot,
I think it's usually, I guess it's usually the second weekend in June that most of
Knit in Public.
Yeah, a Knit in Public thing, because I did get on the worldwide Knit in Public, and there were quite a few that they do. Do you know in Toronto they take over the bus system? They used to.
I think they kind of do in New York City too.
I don't know if they've done it post-pandemic, but pre-pandemic, they get on the buses, and then they just get off and they'd all sit on the benches where the buses were, and sometimes they'd get on it. And if you had your knitting, you didn't have to pay for the bus. So it was perfect.
I always have knitting with me.
Yeah. See,
always.
So I would never have to, just on that day.
Yeah, but I always do anyway, so it wouldn't matter what day it was.
Right.
If I was riding the train, I would have my knitting with me.
Oh yeah, I used to crochet and I read and
when I say knitting, I'm encompassing the whole thing.
Yeah.
It would be either knitting or crochet.
But I didn't knit back then.
There would be yarn in my bag.
I didn't knit back then.
Well.
But I did do a lot of granny squares. And now I'm back into granny squares. Granny squares are really coming back. I really am pleased. So whoever you're designing out there, do your granny squares.
Speaking of granny squares, I'm kind of working on my this is
her own?
my pink fiddle bit blanket. It's not my own. I kind of snagged this little stitch recipe. I'm just going to call it a stitch recipe from Mikey from the Crochet Crowd, which I think it's called the modern granny square, something like that. You'd find it on the Crochet Crowd. He just does a little tutorial on how to do it, and I was like, well, that's perfect because I want a big pink blanket. So I'm just using fiddle bits, and of course I have to buy yarn for it too.
Well, I think it's a Crochet Crowd. I think they even put out videos and things like that because I know the Knitting Circle does, and I subscribe to that.
Crochet Crowd has huge library of videos.
Yeah, so does the knitting. In fact, and Jen Lucas actually runs the Knitting Circle
The knitting circle?
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
And there's actually crochet stuff on there because she crochets as well. But she's
another member of the dark arts.
Yeah, she is. Dark arts. Listen to you. I kind of like that. Yeah. But I went through some of my things and she was showing how the easiest way to begin a row and how to add another person. I looked it up because
Add another what?
Add another skein of yarn.
Oh, okay.
Before I squirrel out.
Yeah, before you squirrel, finish your sentence.
I know, because here, I'm going to turn my little hat inside out here that I'm working on. Because
do you need a tip hugger?
No.
Okay.
No, I'm okay because I'm going to keep knitting, so I didn't want to hug it. I put my tip hugger right here in my pen.
Oh, there you go.
See?
Hey, look at that.
Then I won't lose it.
What's your tip hugger there?
On my pen.
Okay.
Because she said this is my stack mittens and hat that I've been working on. It's called paper. It's from Paper Daisies. It's this one, short stack. Okay, right? And
so lots of color changes.
Yes, and in the pattern they talked about how to do the Stephen West weaving of the ends, Stephen West, because I haven't cut it because I'm afraid I'm just not secure yet.
You know what? I've watched the whole Stephen West thing with the weaving in of the ends, right. and I'm okay with that. But I want to then go back in and weave it in the other direction. It's just, to me, that's not secure.
Right.
That's
I think
just
what I'm
woven
going
in
to
one
do
way.
I think what I'm going to do is just slide it back under and then I'll clip it.
Yeah.
Because then it has all this way to come out before I do it. That's part of the reason why I hadn't done it.
I mean, I love you, Stephen. Don't get me wrong. I do. But that little trick to weave in your thing, I'm with you. I don't feel like it's secure.
It kind of keeps them in the right place.
Sure.
So you're not hanging.
And you don't have that, like that opening.
Yeah. You don't.
Yeah, you don't have that opening. So there's that good part of it.
Right. There's that. And the other thing that they told you in the pattern is when you change colors is on the second row, you should slip the first stitch purlwise, okay, with the yarn in back, and then do your pattern, and it keeps the jog down. As you can see, well, here, I'll show you. We may not be able to tell because this is so tiny, but as you can see, you don't get that huge jog. So I was kind of impressed with that. And speaking of Stephen West, I was on his website this morning because I get,
hey, Colleen.
What are you doing on here? You should be over here. Get your buns over, you little pain in the neck. She's probably off the water already. Colleen gets up like at 4:00 in the morning, and then she works out, and then she goes and she rows. I mean, she's out on the water.
And then usually does yoga.
And then does yoga. And then,
by the way, fantastic dress, Colleen.
Oh, yeah. She went somewhere fancy.
Mm-hmm.
She looked really good. Mm-hmm. He did too, decked out and almost like a Matthew McConaughey look.
Yeah.
He did. John was like looking really pretty sexy. I was like, now I kind of know why she went after the guy. I was thinking
Colleen was looking pretty sexy. I wasn't looking at John.
Well, I thought they were a striking couple.
Oh, totally.
I thought this is really cool. Sure. Yeah. Because she asked her opinion on which shawl she should wear. And I think she went with the one we suggested. So I don't remember what I said, but I've slept since then. So anyway.
You've slept since then.
Well, I didn't. Okay, back to the story since we did sort of squirrel out. I did read about how beginning and end, how when you add yarn into your thing and how some people just loop it and some people loop it, just kind of hang on to it, give it a couple of tugs, and then go on their merry little way. And then I didn't realize that you could do like 2 stitches with both of them, and that it actually anchors it better.
Yeah.
And then just remember on your way back
to only pick up the
the 2 stitches together. So that's an article with Jen Lucas. You have to join to get all the premium ones, and some of the premium ones are not all that. Anybody can go to the knitting circle. But if you join, I'll tell you a secret. They always send out all these little notices after you join. So and then they give you a really cheap price to join for like a whole year. So just join for like a couple of months or a month or so, and then she'll send you a notice and say, oh, it's normally $9,000 for the year, but we're only going to charge you $2.72 for the year.
If you sign up right now.
Yeah. And then and then the next year, put it in on your calendar to cancel it. Like 3 days before, they would charge credit card, and then they'll send you a notice and you can sign up again. But maybe this time it's $3.12 or something like that. But they do that sort of stuff all the time. So that's just a little trick.
Hack woman.
I know.
You've got that hack down.
I did.
Yeah.
I learned that the hard way, though.
Oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, because there have been many times I have signed up for things, and then like less than 2 or 3 days later, they put out a notice saying, hey, you can renew your subscription. And I don't even know if I really like it now, you know? Yeah. And you're like, like, well, where were you 2 days ago?
When I paid, $129 for the year.
Well, I learned that with Angie's List years ago, because if you renewed it online, it was like, I don't know, expensive. But at the state fair, if you signed up at the state fair or renewed at the state fair, it was like $5.
Yeah.
So I learned that the hard way. So I got totally royally messed up on that one. So, that's what I'm just saying.
Live and
learn. So
PSA for you guys.
Yeah. Well, we are known for that.
We are.
Yeah.
Not.
I mean, we're known for keeping up to date on what's out there and what's going on, because we're just right in the middle of things.
Speaking of what's out there and what's going on, I put sets on sale this week.
Oh, so go in and start your Christmas shopping now.
So
Christmas
full sets,
in June.
You'll see it. It's underneath each listing.
Check this out. This is how you get it in this pretty pink bag.
Yeah. I have a couple of them going out.
Yeah.
So thanks for the orders.
Yeah.
They're going out.
They're going out. So if you put an order in and you're wondering where it is, it's right there.
It's right there.
And I can probably drop it off on my way out.
Well, it's not gonna be sent until tomorrow anyway. So I just put it in the mailbox.
I can run out to the airport. I don't use any gas.
Okay, if I do satellite over all of the field of, what are those? My brain is fried.
Even me, the squirrel, can't figure out where the avenue is.
Yeah. The sun things.
You mean all the light catchers that they have at the airport?
Yeah, all those
panels.
Yeah, the big panels.
Yeah, the big electric panel, the solar panels.
Yeah.
The
solar panel. There's a solar panel field. I couldn't come up with solar panel.
Yeah.
So if you're running through there with 2 packages.
I can't run in there. Hey, wait.
Oh my God, my brain is just fried.
Yeah.
I went out back this morning. I have a little garden that's like maybe 8 feet by 4 feet. It's right up against my deck. And it's basically, right now, it is weeds and oregano.
But she's got a cool pot that had thyme.
Oh, yeah. I've got all kinds of stuff up on my deck.
And parsley.
Kale.
No, what else did you put in there?
Dill.
Dill.
I didn't put dill in your eggs this morning.
No, but I smelled it.
Yeah.
What did you put in the eggs?
I put chives, parsley, and thyme in our eggs.
And it was green. That's what made it green.
So yeah, we had green eggs and spam.
There you
go. So anyway, my garden is basically weeds, oregano, a blueberry bush, and some rhubarb that had gone to seed. So I took a 55-gallon trash bag down there and I filled it up with weeds, guys. That's and the rhubarb that had gone to seed. 55-gallon trash bag.
Holy crap.
Of weeds. And there's still a ton of weeds down there. There's another 55-gallon trash bag of weeds down there.
Oh my God.
I know. I need a compost place where I can put all that and compost it, because it's all compostable. Compostable, whatever. It's all that. It's all
to the stuff you put on your garden.
Yeah, right. but I don't have the place for that. I'm, in the city limits and have an HOA, so they would frown upon having a compost bin.
How would they frown on it? You had somebody who had a pig in their backyard.
Yeah, well, they don't have a pig anymore. I think there had to have been a neighborhood barbecue that I just wasn't invited to.
I mean, come on. Give me a break.
I don't think I would want, if I was on a homestead, if I had a couple of acres, I would definitely have a compost pile bin. But I don't, the house that I'm in right now, I cannot put anything out away from the house very far. So while I totally like the idea of composting, and I do small batches of compost directly into my garden. So like watermelon rinds and banana peels and newspaper and that sort of stuff. Good. Yeah. Coffee eggshells in small amounts because there's a lot of, but yeah, I just dig a trench, put it in, and within like 2 or 3 days, it's completely gone. My worms love it. So I feed my worms, and the worms make good soil.
Oh, is that big thing wandering out there about like this fat and wide going?
Yeah, it's like Tremors now, the movie. Giant worms back there. Which is probably why the weeds are just loving it, because I keep
keep your worms going.
Yeah, I keep my worms going.
I don't know.
Okay, you didn't have any tchotchke stuff today.
No, but it's Flags Day's Tuesday, so I thought about it.
I have tchotchke for you.
Oh my God! Where'd you get this cool
thing? Turn it on.
Holy crap and a cracker! Look, it's a fan.
I got a pink one for me, but I only had batteries for one. So you got. Mine is going to my office.
I love it.
And my office can supply the batteries for mine.
Did you hit like Dollar Tree?
I did.
See?
Yeah.
Is it not addicting?
I had to get my so you guys, every single time you order from the Etsy shop, you get a handwritten thank you card from me. And I was running out of thank you cards, so I had to go to the Dollar Tree to get some thank you cards. So I got some cute ones too. And I saw those and I died laughing, and I'm like, Deb needs to have a fan. Who needs a fan? With this heat coming up, everybody needs a fan.
Oh yeah, it's supposed to be.
You all need a fan. Go to the Dollar Tree and get these are powerful.
They really are.
They are powerful. And it was $1.25, guys.
Yeah, and you can pick up your pack of batteries.
It holds a 2 AA batteries.
Which
that does not come with it, so you do have to get the batteries.
I'll leave the batteries for you.
No,
because Mikey has I bought him a box at Christmas.
I bought them in 75 packs at work. Mine's going to work. It's a work thing, so mine can be supplied by work.
Oh, yeah, it's an expense.
Yeah,
it's on your expense account.
Listen, if they want me to be comfortable at work.
You have a little heater underneath.
I do.
Because she's in a big warehouse. She is in the office side of it, but it's a warehouse.
It's still a warehouse.
And it gets cold. Heat that area separately.
Well, we do heat it and cool it separately, but we have 2 doors going in and out of the warehouse that are constantly being open.
Yeah. So
when I went down to Crossville and came back, and then the next episode that we did, I described the hilarity of driving down there.
Right.
And my husband, I totally forgot to show off the yarn I got there.
I wondered about that. I seriously did. I meant to ask you yesterday what you got when you were in there. And
then, of course I got stuff.
And then we were talking to Brenda and Heather about what's coming down the pike and their shows and things like that, and lumpy bubble gum and things like that. So it is lumpy bubble gum, isn't it?
It is called lumpy bubble gum. And we were talking about bubble gum that was lumpy in your mouth. Yeah. And evidently it's a cartoon thing with a kid, whatever.
Which we didn't even know. So
I'm like, yeah. So the yarn shop in Crossville is called the Yarn Patch.
How nice.
And I picked up a few things while I was there.
I want to see.
So I thought I need to do some boy hats.
Yeah,
because I have lots of guys in the warehouse and they all need a hat in the wintertime. So I need to do some boy hats. So I thought I'm gonna get some boy colors.
Nice.
Now I know this one looks like
Pink.
it's an awful lot of pink, but
it's mostly
there's
red
really
and
a lot of dark.
yeah.
There's a lot of burgundy
And
gray.
Yeah. It's a lighter red.
I may
but
cut
it's
the
more.
pink out of it and put it in my fiddle bit blanket. I don't know.
That's a possibility.
We'll see.
Yeah.
And my husband would totally wear this.
Oh yeah,
with
he
the
would,
pink in it.
even with the pink in it.
This one is just, a Barocco sock.
Nice colors,
but
blues
it's
and
like
browns.
It's like, yeah, blue, orange, brown, gray.
Very fall.
Kind of like it, very fall-y.
Yeah, I like that.
This is another Barocco sock too.
Yeah.
Those I just got because of the colors. It wasn't anything specific. But this one I got because it was a local.
Oh.
It was a local dyer.
Nice.
From there. So called Unplanned Peacock Studio.
Nice.
And this is kind of like green.
There's some
golden, white, stripy sort of.
Yeah, neato.
We'll see what it comes up with.
Patches up with.
But I figured they were kind of good, like boy colors.
Yeah.
All of them sort of kind of boy colors, and outside of the color palette that I have already
right
in my yarn room.
I probably have a few colors for you. I can probably bring some over.
Continue to put into your slots of
yarn. Yeah, I've been thinking about that because now the center section of this is for the holidays.
Tchotchke shit. And she started to say it. I'll finish it. It's tchotchke shit.
And Tuesday is Flag Day, so I almost brought out the red, white, and blue because Tuesday's Flag Day. So I thought, well, we should really wear red, white day. Yeah,
Tuesday's Flag.
Tuesday's Flag Day.
Cool.
Yeah.
I don't pay attention.
You didn't know that, huh?
No.
Oh well.
I know now.
Now you know.
PSA.
Even
to me.
I'm just so fond of information. Actually, useless information. But
whatever. It's still information.
Use it. You can learn how to join. The way they do this. Actually, I thought she was going to teach me some of the ways to join yarn. I want to learn the one way that you just sort of like twist it and somehow it never comes apart this way when you're joining yarn. So that you just keep going and you don't have to work in an end. And I don't know how to do that one.
Oh, I know how to do that. I'll show you.
Okay.
For the podcast.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to do that because that, again, would mean I wouldn't have to weave in an end. Not that I mind so much, But now that you mention it, that is a good thing about the Stephen West thing is to at least go. You
don't get the hole.
Right. Well, you don't get the hole, but I was afraid to cut it because I wasn't feeling secure. But you're right. By go back the other direction, just underneath and slide it through, then trim it.
Well, I wouldn't skip over like 2 stitches and then go underneath.
Yeah, I will. Yeah. But I mean, and then, give it a tug and then trim it. And then it would, and then you really don't have to worry about it not kind of coming out. Not that many of mine do anyway. I sometimes glue them in place. I use fabric glue.
I sometimes tie them.
Do you ever tie it on at the end? Do you tie the end like when you at the
end
of the row?
When I join another?
Yeah, at the end of the row.
What do you mean at
the end if you were like going back and forth and you had to start another skein?
Do you knot it then? I'll knot it there.
Because of the fact you want it to stay secure?
No. Well, and I don't knot it close to the work itself because I want to be able to unknot it. But I will knot them together just to keep it together. Just to keep all of, especially if you're changing colors, like every single row and you have like a strew of different
like I did with strands. My painted bricks, because I would take and I would twist the colors and
I'll
in like a little slip knot.
Yeah, of like 5 rows together or something.
Because it does make it secure. And you actually did it the way she even said. She said, make sure you undo the knot.
Oh, you have to undo the knot.
Yeah, see? So
but
she's
like
smarter than what she thought.
Okay, so in crochet, I join differently in crochet than I do in knit. I actually knot. I take 2 strands and I literally put a knot in it.
Okay.
And then I take both both ends.
And then
I weave them in as
they
I crochet
go. Right.
go. Because
Right.
you're never going to feel that knot.
No, not
You're
in
never going to
no.
feel the knot in crochet.
No, you won't. No, never.
And then you don't have a bunch of tchotchke shit to weave in at the end.
Right. And even,
especially when you're doing something like this, like a fiddle bit blanket.
Like a fiddle bit or something.
Yes,
where
I
you've got
legitimately just knot them.
Yeah. That I can understand.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can see that. Yeah. The only problem is sometimes with lacy stuff.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to take into consideration what you're working on.
Yeah.
Yeah. But like this, where it's pretty solid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I beg you to find where there's a knot. I mean, you would find it because you would be anal about it. But if you just have it on your lap, you would never know.
Never know. I have a sister who goes through my cross stitch.
Yeah,
to find the errors.
She's cray.
Yeah, she's really cray. Yeah, I'm telling you, what are you gonna do? Yeah, whatever.
What else do you have? What?
Actually, we have Carly, who's been on the show every once in a while. She did a test knit.
She did.
Yeah, she did a test knit on this pattern that just went live this week. And here is the name of the pattern. I know it's called Live Out Loud. Very bright. Okay.
It looks like lots of different stitch patterns.
A bunch of different patterns. The pattern's very, very long. It's like 9 pages.
Okay.
I only printed out the first 2. It's from Chic and Regal Knits. Okay.
Chic and Regal.
And if you look on Ravelry and you see the one, it's got black and all these fun colors, like my shirt, colors. That's the one Carly did.
Nice.
So this went on Tuesday. So that, as you can see, you get some lacy and some regular. And I should have taken it from her earlier in the week when I ran into her, but I don't know why my brain didn't say, sure, I'll take it. I was more worried.
The shawl itself?
Yeah, she had it because all the girl wanted was the picture so she could post it.
Oh, sure.
So the shawl is hers.
And any edits that she found along the way.
Yeah. And it, like I said, Chic and Regal Knits, go on there. And she donates 25% of all sales to animal rescue. Isn't that nice? That's cool. Pretty cool.
Does crochet need to be blocked like knitting? Yes. But
yes and no.
Yes and no. I mean, blocking does several things in knitting and crochet. It gives your stitch definition, definitely. But kind of one of the major things that it does is it blooms the yarn.
Yes.
So you're never really going to know what your yarn is going to be like until you've washed it and blocked it.
That's why sometimes the swatching is kind
essential, because you should wash it and block it
so that you get an idea of how much stretch you're going to get or how much not stretch you're going to get, or how much the yarn blows up or shrinks back. That's in my opinion.
It kind of depends on what you're working on. I'm not going to worry about blocking this because it's a blanket. I don't really care if it stretches or shrinks. I know it's not going to because it's I'm using all 80/20 sock.
Well, see, now some people on a blanket like this, I might put it in, I wash it by hand, but I will throw this in the dryer on delicate or on air.
I won't wash this by hand. It'll go in the washing machine on delicate.
Oh, yeah.
I wash my socks. I wash and dry my socks in the washing machine. My hand knit wool socks.
I guess I could do that with my mittens.
As long as they're 80/20.
I don't do that with my mittens. My mittens I usually just do by hand. And I never block my mittens until after I've worn them for a while. I want them to fit me. And then I block them. Then I'll wash them. But I want the yarn to kind of set to me.
Well, then you should steam them and wear them.
Well, I always steam them.
Then they'll set to you.
Well, I always steam them.
I love my iron. Listen to us back and forth and back and forth. There's so many, it's I think it's kind of a personal thing.
Right.
With crochet.
Yeah.
Knitting definitely needs to be blocked.
Yeah. Yeah. So when I do this
Definitely.
pattern, this Live Out Loud.
That definitely needs to be blacked with all of those little lacy holes and whatnot in there.
Yes.
You're
this
not
would
going to
def-
see,
No.
if you didn't block this, you would not see all the intricate little stitches
No,
that
you
are in
wouldn't.
there. They
No, you
just
wouldn't.
would, they
Right.
just wouldn't show. So
I'm thinking of
kind
doing
of the
it.
same thing with crochet too. If you have something that's very open and lacy, which I did a shawl for my mother-in-law that was very open in crochet. And it didn't look like, it looked like potchy crap until I blocked it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And that was all in crochet. So
I think so too, because the problem thing is as you're working, to me, it shrinks as you work. You pull on it, but
so.
I think so anyway.
Whatever.
Well, I'm going to do
You know
this.
what? We had a question last week. They wanted to know where we were from.
Where were we from?
Where are we from?
Originally, I am from Chicago. I was born in the University of Chicago, right at the University of Chicago.
I was born at the University of Minnesota.
And my father saw me for the very first time. It's in my chart too. That the nurse thought that my parents would need counseling because I was in such a freaking hurry to get out. My head was really scrunched. And he said, boy, is she ugly. Or wrinkled or something like that. It's in my chart. I actually looked it up. And I pinked up and everything, but I was in a hurry. I was breached. I was early. I had to get out. You
had to get out in the world.
Well, I had to get to my stuff.
There's pink in that.
There's pink in that. That's good.
Yep.
That's a good one. So I had to get out into the world. So yeah.
So you lived in Chicago.
When I was born, I was in Chicago, and then we lived actually in Gary for a while.
Indiana.
When my dad, not anymore. Don't go to Gary, Indiana.
Yeah, no,
and
not now.
He worked at the steel mills, and then we moved to the sticks, and they made a garage, turned it into a house, and then they built for like 18 years or something like that. I don't know, forever. This super big house that we finally had to move in because my mom had another kid, so we couldn't. How they had a kid, it was one of these things where you walked into like the big bedroom and then both bedrooms were off to the sides. So how they had another kid is beyond me. You know what I'm saying? It's like he worked nights, so that's probably why, because we were in school. So that's probably
yeah, you were in school.
About, And the funniest thing is there was, in the back bedroom, there was a hole that he never put the strip of wood, that you put between doors.
Oh, yeah.
So we used to feed the mice Cheerios through the hole. Because
you thought that the mice would really like to have Cheerios?
Yeah, Cheerios. We didn't have mice in the house because we always had a cat and a dog. But we lived out in the fields while we were on the farm and stuff like that. So it was funny. But yeah, I'm from the South Side of Chicago. And then I went to school at Northwestern and at Illinois State University. And I lived in Chicago and worked in Chicago. And
have you lived anywhere other than Illinois and Indiana?
No. I was born and raised, lived in Crete. When my husband and I got married, we moved to Valparaiso and Maryville for a very short time, for about a year, his first year, because he was in school. And then we moved to our house in Matson, and we were there from 79 until 87, when we moved down here in an apartment. We lived there for 3 years. And then we moved into our house
and been
for
in the
32 years.
Been in the house ever since.
Right. He's had the same job since 1987. Okay, 3 different companies, but the same building, same office number, the whole bit.
Same desk.
Everything until pandemic. And I worked for 27 years at Methodist. So we're not ones for change.
Yeah, no.
So now you've been, I travel. See, that's why I travel. See, because I'm not one to do a lot of changing. So, and you're a Joycey girl.
Well, kind of. I mean, I was born in St. Paul, Minnesota.
Okay.
At the University of Minnesota.
That's why we're so smart, because we're university students.
Or university babies.
University babies. There we go.
But when I was 2 weeks old, our whole family moved to New Jersey. So I don't have early recollections of Minnesota.
No.
But when I was 9, we moved away from New Jersey, back to Minnesota. And so from 3rd grade until I graduated from high school, I was in Rochester, Minnesota. And then I married Jamie.
James.
I'm gonna pull back on that just a little bit. I took a job in New York right out of high school. Mainly because I wanted to give myself my graduation present, which was a slice of New York pizza.
Oh, okay.
Swears to God, guys. So I swears to you.
She hadn't had the better pizza in Chicago, so.
No, that's not pizza. That's a casserole.
No, that's pizza.
It's a casserole.
Pizza.
So I took a job out there for a year. It was just a short-term thing. And I wanted to go to a place in it was either in Livingston or Chatham, New Jersey, a pizza place called Rusiano's. And that was the pizza that I remember as a kid being like true New York style pizza. And it was this great little pizzeria with the guy tossing the pizza up in the front window, And I found out that when I got out there, they were no longer there. They had changed hands a few times, and then a fucking Pizza Hut or something.
Before the age of internet, and you were using the wonderful maps that you could never fold back up into that one little.
Oh, and I drove out there too. I drove out there in my car, which at the time was a Chevy Sprint, 3-cylinder Chevy Sprint. This was in 1989. I got 87 miles to the gallon.
Holy crap.
In 1989, guys. So I don't understand why we don't have cars nowadays. They're getting 90 plus miles to the gallon on just the gas.
I don't know why there isn't Wi-Fi available either.
I don't either. So then I came back. I got married, and my husband took a job in North Sioux City, South Dakota. Now, Sioux City is like in a tri-state area, so it hits South Dakota, Iowa, and Nebraska.
Okay.
We ended up buying a house or having an apartment in Nebraska. I worked in Iowa. My husband worked in South Dakota, so we had awful taxes that year.
Holy crap.
Or for a few years. And then we moved to Lincoln, Nebraska. So we were just all Lincoln, Nebraska. And then we moved here.
I thought you went back to Minnesota before you came here.
Oh yeah, we did.
Okay.
Yeah, we went back to Minnesota for a hot minute. 15 years. 15 years. We went back to Minnesota for 15 years. I totally spaced out that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we did go back to Minneapolis for 15 years, and then we came here to Indianapolis. So there's our life stories. Where we've been.
That's
either driving through or flying into or visiting.
Right. I've done them all but New Mexico. It's the only one
I've done New Mexico.
Yeah, I've never been through,
I haven't
flown through or stopped. In most of them I've driven through.
Oh yeah.
But we haven't always stayed in them, but I've driven through. When we were kids, my dad was on strike from the steel mills, and so my brother was supposed to stay at home and keep track of things, but he didn't. He just had a bunch of beer parties. And we went on this long ride that took us all the way, but we never got to New Mexico. So we went to California. Yeah, that's where I found my first strip club, was in San Francisco.
Oh, yeah.
My dad we were walking down the street and everything. Haight-Ashbury was really the thing. And so I wanted to go, so we went. And so I wouldn't go in the strip club. My sister did, but she's like, they're naked in there.
Well, duh.
Well, it didn't say strip club. It just said, gentleman's club or something like that. So what are we getting? I don't have good eyes. Do we do something?
Do we black sweater? Do you black sweaters you knit in pieces before seaming? Well, I've never knit a sweater that was pieces, for one thing. I've only ever done mine as, I've only done raglan type, so I've never done piece work.
I have, and I
would think that you would want to block it first.
I did block it first.
Yeah, I would think.
And then I sewed it together.
Then what it?
Yeah.
If you block pieces before, it makes it easier to see what you do and how to sew it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, I would think so too.
The very first knitting class I actually took was called Beyond Scarves. So I was thinking,
hats and mittens, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I'm going. You know, no. She hands you this pattern for a sweater, and she's like, it's nothing different than a bigger, different size type scarf. And so she was kind of right. It worked out pretty good, and I can still wear it. It's a little scratchy because it was the wrong kind of yarn.
Right.
And
you went with the color and that.
It's gray. It's actually grays. Yeah, I didn't know anything about stuff like that back then. But I did get gauge because we were I used a size 11 needle.
Oh, so it would be like a normal size 7 or 8.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. And except she kept putting it on when she would fix it, and she would take something apart and fix it. She's like, here, just use my needles. And she was using circular needles. And I could not figure out how a circular needle could.
How do you do it for back and forth?
Yeah, I just never crossed over my brain. And I would knit to the end. And I'm like, something's not doing right. And she says, turn it around. And I said, I can't. I don't know where to go. And
slide it back over.
Yeah, she was. Anyway, it was funny.
I'm starting another color, y'all. So this is how for this blanket, this is how I do these. I literally just put a knot in it, but I leave a good amount. Tail. I leave a longer tail.
Right.
And then
as she crochets.
As I crochet, I just crochet over my tail.
And then takes the tail along with it, and there you go.
But I literally just tie them in crochet. I would never do that in knitting.
No, I wouldn't either.
You would feel it. You would feel it.
Yeah. I do the crossover, kind of like, when.
Yeah, I'll do
that a couple of times when I
just know what we're talking about.
But,
we just go like this.
Yeah, it's kind of.
If you twist the back, when you join a new one or you change color and you twist them around in the back side, you have a little loop around in the back that keeps them. That's what we're talking about.
Right, but don't do that when you're doing helical.
No.
That is the strangest thing. If you want to try something that's really bizarre, that it's just going to go
fun.
to your mind because you think there's no way this is going to freaking work out. Try a helical, because then actually at the end of this hat,
I'm kind of doing that on my sweater right now.
Yeah. Yeah,
because
you're changing with the skeins.
I'm changing the skeins, so you don't actually see what's
right,
but. Yeah, I'm just alternating.
I hadn't thought about that. You could do that kind of when you're doing with Rios.
Yes,
sometimes
absolutely.
Malabrigo.
Not sometimes with Malabrigo. Always with Malabrigo.
Pretty much, yeah.
They don't have dye lots, so the colors. Right. You really, if you're making a sweater out of Malabrigo Rios,
right,
which I highly recommend. It's great yarn, but they don't have dye lots. So you really should alternate skeins within your knitting. Yeah. And doing helical is I find the easiest way to do that.
Yeah. Actually, at the end of the tip, because I have 2 more colors, and the top one, I'm considering using these colors, which is part of the other set, at the top, so I can slide them in on my mittens. So you can kind of see to do the helical at the top. It's really kind of fun, but you just drop it in helical and just pick it up. You don't go over, because otherwise it's just the craziest thing when you do it. Watch it on the internet.
Very pink knits. Very pink knits explains it and shows it very well.
Right. And that's another fun thing to do when you're having, when you find a simple beanie pattern and and you maybe do the brim in a solid color or something like that.
And then just do
helical from that point on, because it just makes it so much easier, and you can use up your yarn.
And it makes it fun.
And it does. It doesn't make it fun.
It makes it fun. And you can use up fiddle bits that way too.
Yeah, very much so.
What else do we got going on?
I got my fan going on. Yeah, I got my fan going on.
She can never have enough fans.
Never. No, not
never had enough fans, and when I saw that, I just had to.
I was like, I had never seen these. These must be something new that they have. This is pretty slick, you know.
All for $1.25.
The
Dollar Tree is now $1.25.
I'm
guys.
cheap, but I'm not easy. Let me tell you,
Yeah.
I'm a very complicated part of the person here, you know. So anyway,
so
I have to admit though, yesterday was funny because I think Heather was yanking our chain.
About what?
Steve and Andy.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I think she's right.
We were talking about leading men, how they like to say, oh, no, I'm Steve. No, I'm Andy. No, Andy's not Steve. Andy knits, Steve doesn't. Steve does this, Andy does that. And I'm like, wait, but no, that was Steve. No, that was Andy. And I'm like, no, it was Steve. So anyway, we got into a discussion about that. But I know Brenda and Heather, see, so they can't pull that sort of stuff.
Yeah, they can't.
You know, so we got them. So anyway, I didn't realize, though, that they were up Lafayette Ray now, which is pretty cool.
Yeah,
they were in Seymour. Now they've got their nice little world out of Lafayette, but they're still Indiana born and bred. I don't know, were they born and bred in Indiana?
I don't know. I didn't ask them.
Hey, Heather, you're watching. Tell us.
Born and bred?
Yeah, well, she's here. I mean, she watches us. She thinks we're crazy. I think the girl probably.
Hello from Evansville.
Hi, Evansville. And sound went out. What do you mean the sound?
I don't know if our sound went out or if her sound went out.
Oh,
somebody else let us know if our sound is still on, because it's.
If not, we're going to be wrapping up here soon anyway.
Yeah,
so we are kind of at that point.
She did ask how we met and how long we've been knitting together.
Well,
okay, well, she can hear, so it must be the other gals. How we met? We met at the yarn shop.
Well, we met at the yarn shop.
Yeah. We totally met
on Tuesdays. I don't know how long
Tuesday
ago.
nights.
Tori was here. It was around it was before Mary bought it.
Oh yeah, Harriet was still there. So we've gone through 3 shop owners together with the yarn shop. Probably 8 years ago. We probably met 8 years ago because I've been here 9.
Were you around when I was doing my Dirty Martini sweater? The pink sweater, because I took that with Marcia and Sandy, and so I'm saying somewhere around 2016-ish is pretty much when we kind of more started to hang, because I started going around then on Tuesday nights.
Yeah, we probably met before that,
but we did. We just sort of kind of hung, and actually, I was more attracted to her daughter because she had this great hair. She colored her hair, and I thought, oh my God, that kid has got to be so cool. So I thought
she is cool,
and she is. But she
had streaks of teal and purple in her hair.
Oh, it was so neat. And it was a beautiful, because she has a dark, her hair
is my color, basically.
Yeah, it's amazing. And it takes color really well. And it just looks so good. And when she was with us, and what I really loved, when we went to Kentucky, she had like one side shaved. Like,
she has the mohawk. So she's got long hair, guys, like mine. But she has hers shaved. The side and the back.
But when she put her hair down, you didn't see the shave part.
When you put it all down,
you didn't see the shave part.
But yeah, all the sides and all along the back, she has shaved.
It was so cool.
It's still that way.
I mean, it was still amazing. That way. But that's how we met at the yarn shop, and then we kind of started hanging out, and she started using the F-bomb, and then she changed it to the flock of birds.
Yeah, I kept saying at the yarn shop that
because we had kids in the class.
Yeah, 6, 7, 8, 9 years ago. Because I have a potty mouth, and I know I have a potty mouth, but we have kids on Tuesday nights, which was when I could get to the yarn shop most of the time.
And it was open till 8, and Marcia worked behind the counter. So we always like to go in to give Marcia the sales, because Marcia was there. Yeah. And Marcia was really good she was the knit doctor. Yeah. She still is our knit doctor.
She's our knit 911.
Yeah. So she was there, and so we all kind of got together. There were nights that there were like 10 or 12 of us.
Oh yeah, there was lots of us that would come in on Tuesday. But so I started saying what the flock of birds because there was kids in the house and I couldn't say fuck.
Right. That's how that kind of came about.
So the flock kind of started with my saying that at the shop, and then it became a thing where we were all saying what the flock of birds.
Exactly.
Including the kids.
Including the kids.
Yeah,
and including the kids. And so they were kind of, they would look at us like they weren't sure, like we had 3 heads sometimes because they weren't sure these ladies knew what the hell we were doing, because half the time we didn't even do, we do 6 stitches and we'd be laughing and joking the whole time.
Yeah.
And they're in the back trying to do their knitting and yet trying to listen to us at the same time.
They're like, we want to sit out there.
Yeah. And we had actually discussed switching. One week,
like we would take the classroom and you guys can have the chairs and whatnot.
And then the pandemic hit, and so we kind of never really got it together. But we've been together since. And we started doing breakfast during the pandemic. And then we
started the podcast
last 2 summers ago.
Yeah.
It's almost 2 years. You guys have been putting us 2 years. Haven't we changed so much over the course of
I put on a bunch of weight, gotten a nice little, chin, but I'm trying to hide it with all my hair.
Yeah, me too. I'm trying to hide my head with my hair.
I need a cut. I need a cut.
You do?
Yeah, big time.
You need a shape is what you need. And I know you don't like going to regular hairstylists.
No, I do. I'm just too lazy to make the appointment and go.
Oh. What if I made the appointment and picked you up?
Okay.
I'll do that.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Maybe that'll be my Christmas present to you.
But I'll pay for it. I'll pay for it. You just. Actually, like people say to me,
but you work Monday through Friday.
Exactly.
So it's hard. And my stylist, I don't know if she's there on the weekend. Otherwise, I would take you to Becca. She would do a really good job on you.
Well, that's okay. You know what? I have time that I can use.
Okay. So we'll have to do something.
Whenever.
We'll have to do it. So anyhow, that's how we met. And that's how we kind of hang out now. And Colleen was part of the group. And Charlie used to come. That's Charlie.
At the yarn shop.
Yep. At the yarn shop. And sometimes
And Carly.
Carly, we met at the yarn shop. And Micah and Karen and all
and the whole flock of us.
The whole flock. Yep. And Chicken Sharon. Yep. Actually,
you might see Chicken Sharon. I think I've talked her into maybe doing this.
Oh, good. Well, maybe she'll do this when I go to Oklahoma. That would be her good weekend. On that Sunday.
Maybe I can get Carly and Chicken Sharon.
That would be good, because then Chicken Sharon wouldn't be the only one.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you guys saw her a little bit.
When we went to Tennessee.
To Kentucky. For your birthday. So you saw her a little bit, but she, you got to get to know.
She's a little camera shy.
But she's the best. So you got to see.
Sweeter than sweet. We went to her house.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
We had a little knit session over there, and it was really fun. So we were supposed to get rid of yarn, but I don't think a lot of people actually get rid of that much yarn.
I didn't get rid of any. I ended up with more.
I got rid
because people were like, "No, Sue, you have to take this as pink."
Poor Carly ordered one of Leading Men's Mystery skein thing, and unfortunately, only one skein was something she really liked.
Yeah.
So she gave me the purple because she said, "You will use the purple." She said, and the other two she just sort of hung on because she said, "I'll figure something out. It might go with something," is what she said. She might do something with something. So anyway. Yeah.
Well, Carly pushed off, but her neighbor. A new knitter came.
Super nice lady.
Yeah, she was sweet. We sent her home with a garbage bag full of yarn. We were like, "No, you need to have this. This would be great for a baby. You're gonna need baby knitting. You need to use."
Exactly.
Okay, I know it's not going to be your color, but it's baby color. So.
It's baby, so go for it. It's a perfect thing. She didn't understand. Since she's new, she hasn't picked up the source of what stash is. And when they say it's
no, and I honestly I misunderstood Chicken Sharon's meaning of that. Yeah, because I brought one skein.
So did I, and I bought one of the dream. Actually, don't tell anybody. I shouldn't take, but Sharon took it because she said, "Oh, this is really cool." It was Dream in Color, so she took it.
Had I known I could bring a ton of yarn,
I would have brought a ton of yarn.
I would have, because even if I stopped buying yarn right now and I knit for the rest of my life, I probably could not get through the yarn that's in my yarn room.
Well, I don't know. You're only 51.
Yeah, I know, but still.
If I stop bringing it over, you could get it. But I have to get it out of my house. So I bring it over here in case, but she's one of the stash things. She took a friend in there, and I think that kid had the best baby hat ever because it had cashmere in it. Remember your friend?
Yes. Yes.
She
best baby hat ever.
And it was like super merino cashmere
and silk.
So it was one of those that
I was like, but it was the perfect color so I made the baby hat in it. Like, it didn't matter. So I don't care.
Nice and soft for the baby's head,
Cashmere hat for the baby.
Yeah, as I keep losing hair, I keep thinking that's where I need to go for more cashmere hats. There you go. Nice and soft.
I'm going to answer. Susie Parks wants to know what happened to Micah. I'll answer you. It's been answered a couple of times, but she wasn't comfortable here. So she just wasn't comfortable here. So she's still a member of our knit group, and that's all.
Right. That's cool, all good and cool.
And
she meets with us to knit and things like that. Yep. So it's all kind of
She's still around. She's Micah Adams on Instagram.
Is she? Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, you can Micah Adams 1, I think, maybe on Instagram.
Something that. And Jen, she's still hanging around. She works at the knit shop.
Jen's just super busy, so she just didn't have time.
We kind of got to decide for family things. Can you imagine? Yeah. Putting her kid before us. I mean, God, why would I? Come on.
I like having the rotating people anyway, so that's kind of cool.
Okay, and then what's up?
Crafty Badger. Hey.
Yeah,
speaking of Jennifer's Crafty Badger knits.
She skipped church this morning, and
she's like, I finally caught alive.
Well, you caught the last couple minutes because we're probably going to be scooping out of here shortly. So
it was kind of funny. Our friend Karen.
Yes.
Karen sends me a text message on Friday, and she said, "Now we love Karen,
but
I was like, what?" She sends me a text message. Hey, can you call Jennifer Crafty Badger Knits? Can you call her? I heard she was sick.
Well, Karen, why don't?
So this was in the middle of the day on a Friday. Now, if your friend is sick, don't call them in the middle of the day. They're probably sleeping, right? So I'm like, what? And then I thought, I don't want to misinterpret a text. I don't want to misunderstand what she means.
Right. She was concerned because
But I didn't know that. I didn't know that.
Right.
I didn't know that at the time.
Right. That she was concerned?
No, because I know she's always concerned, but because it's Karen. It's Karen. But then she goes, I said something back, and she goes, I went to the shop and she's sick. And I went, oh, was she there?
Thinking maybe
she saw her. So then I'll call her at the shop.
Right.
Right. Not necessarily her cell phone.
Right.
And she's like, no, I went in, there was somebody else there, and they told me that Jen was out sick. And I'm
thinking, because
I'm kind of thinking, oh,
sorry, Crafty Badger, we kind of thought you were just needing a day off there.
So like legit, I texted Jen and I'm like, hey Jen, heard you weren't feeling very well, or are you just playing hooky?
Some kind of friends we are.
Well, because
the Crafty Badger.
I would, if you just need the day off, sometimes you just need the day off, and you'll be like, mentally
sick.
I don't feel
mental sick.
Exactly.
So it doesn't.
You need a mental day off.
You need a mental day off,
especially from who needs pie?
Yeah. Anybody want a piece of pie? And if you don't understand that means that we're changing the subject. So
at any rate, Jen did say that she wasn't feeling well, but that she's feeling a little better and should be back to 100% by Monday.
Dang, got kicked off. Will this be recorded? Yes,
it's recorded, and
so you can catch up to us later.
You can watch it later.
So all right. Well, since we have to get going, and see what happens. And we'll see you next Sunday then on number 98.
Yeah. Do you have the Titanic yet?
What do I want the Titanic for?
The blimp to go across here.
Oh,
100.
No, but I did
The
buy
big ship lollipop or something. I don't know. Like,
no,
what
I
are you
haven't
gonna
gotten
do for
that.
100?
I haven't gotten that, but I did get the 100 candle. I got a 1 and 2 zeros, so we had the candle for whatever I decide we've got.
Okay.
But Mikey, I still Mikey.
Don't have Mikey build anything. Like, he doesn't need to build anything.
We might have to build the ship to hold the, but the Titanic sunk, and I don't like that, so we won't have the Titanic. We'll have something. I would suggest though that you schedule
the cleaning lady the next day.
Yeah, that would be my total advice. No, wait, we have that party the night, so I'll figure something out.
Well, then there's a good excuse for there to be confetti all over the floor.
And then, like 2 weeks after is our birthday.
Is it?
Yeah, it'll be our birthday for the 2 years.
Well, then we're a toddler again. We go from being a senior citizen to a toddler. You are a toddler just by that saying right there. You're
I'm not doing it. No. So anyway, have a great week. Stay cool because here in Indiana it's supposed to get really hot.
We need our fans.
Go and get your fans.
Need a fan.
Yeah, because for $250 you can get the batteries and the fan and keep yourself really kind of cool in front of an air conditioner. You have a portable one.
Even on the beach.
Even on the beach. Hey, we don't have a beach in Indy.
Well, not everybody that's watching is in Indy.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people have beaches.
A lot of people have beaches. Australia, they probably do. And South Africa, they probably have a beach. And there's a beach over Eagle Creek. Oh, I'm sorry. All right.
World.
All right. We'll see you. Oh, wait.
I was going to say, it's not a touch.
That's why I did that. Bye, guys. Take care and keep the flocking there.
Yeah, there you go.